if AI is basically driving this rally, and Palantir and NVIDIA have become the face of this massive movement.
What makes Palantir better positioned to operationalize AI in the enterprise level than a combination of these best-in-class specialized AI companies? How do you mitigate the risk of becoming broad across many use cases, but not best-in-class in any single one?
And would you please elaborate how Palantir Ontology still be a defensible mode against this large language model plug and play in the world that we chat with data in normal standard something?
I think a current PE of the Palantir would make sense if there's a big enough TAM in the future. Can you talk a little bit about the TAM for Palantir, both in the commercial side and the government side? If you look at the enterprise software market right now, would Palantir create a new market, or would they compete in the current enterprise software market?
Follow the future สัมมนาการลงทุนครั้งยิ่งใหญ่แห่งปีพร้อมกับธีม Win the AI Era Seize the Alpha Survive the Bubbles ที่จะพาคุณรู้ก่อนเห็นก่อนลงทุนก่อนพบกับสุดยอดสปีกเกอร์ของเมืองไทยและระดับโลกทั้งหมดนี้อันแน่นใน8 Sessions เข้มข้นที่จะเปิดมุมมองใหม่ของเศรษฐกิจ AI และหุ้นศักยภาพ10เด้งที่อาจเปลี่ยนชีวิตคุณไปตลอดกาลซื้อบัตรได้แล้ววันนี้ที่ SIP Event
If you're investing and you haven't heard about Palantir, you must have been living under a rock. I'm assuming all of you have heard this name in one way or another, at least of the past 6 months, 12 months. Everybody in this room have heard the name Palantir. It's very hard to ignore the insane performance, the 1,700% of profit that people have made on the stock since it went public. But of course, we are here to talk about the future, right? And in the future, we don't care about what happened so far. It's kind of a what have you done for me lately sort of environment. Think about it like a football coach. You're only as good as your last 3 results, right? With Palantir here for the future, we first have to go back for those who kind of first hearing about the stock, although I don't believe there's any in the crowd. So this is a company that's, it went public in 2020, which is 5 years ago, but it's been around for more than 20 years. It's been around since 2003. The founder is Peter Thiel, who was Elon Musk's partner in PayPal. Alex Karp, which I'm sure you all have seen or heard with the crazy hair. He's been the CEO and co-founder from day one, and Joe Lonsdale, and among some others, right? So the original kind of modus operandi of Palantir was, and by the way, it was partially financed by the CIA. A lot of people don't know this, but Palantir was initially financed partially by the CIA, believe it or not. So initially, this was a software designed to help the U.S. governmental agencies to fight terrorism around the world. This platform is called Gotham. Then, about 10 years ago, Palantir launched its commercial sector, the products that we will talk about here today, because I believe those have the upside to do another 10x from here. Those products are residing under the Foundry line of products. But just before I even talk about Palantir, I think one of the biggest misconceptions from day one about Palantir was that this was some sort of a services company, some sort of a consultancy where people basically came to this agency and a bunch of experts gave them solutions on how to do it better. This was never McKinsey. This was never a services consulting business. It was always a software business. This was what Peter Thiel has always done. This is what made PayPal so valuable, the software. And this is what Palantir was from day one. Now, if you look at the past 5 years for Palantir, I don't want to say the first to talk about it because I don't know that for a fact. I was certainly one of the first people to highlight the stock for the general population back in 2020. Among others, I'm sure that were around, but I kind of became the most famous one, right? So I've been the evangelist for this company. Of course, never gotten any dollar from them. I feel like I have to pay them for what they've done to me financially. This company and the stock changed my life, right? But I've never had a relationship with them. I'm not getting paid. So this is absolutely me, being independent here, right? So the stock is up 700%, 1,700% since 2020. Even in the past year, it's up 150%, even though currently we're on the decline of 25% over the past month. It has, along with NVIDIA, Palantir has became the face of AI-powered stock market momentum, right? If you take out AI from the stock market, the last 3 years of rally we've seen do not exist, right? If AI is basically driving this rally, and Palantir and NVIDIA have become the face of this massive movement. Now, the company certainly has premium margins. It has insane growth. It has phenomenal management, the best talent in the business along with Tesla and NVIDIA. In 2016, what happened is that Alex Karp, who's the co-founder of Palantir, through his own personal relationship with the CEO of Airbus, the company that builds the A320, A350, formerly A380, I don't think they build them anymore. Basically, Airbus was way behind on the production of their new plane, the A350, and Airbus basically came to Alex Karp, who was then a government software business, and said, look, we're way behind on our deliveries. We're about to get sued. Our clients are about to get annoyed. Everything is about to go tits up. We have to figure this out. Can you help us with your super duper secret software to help us get to the right timing? Like, we need to produce, 100 planes. Currently, we're on track to produce 50 planes. We have 50 lag. How do we solve this? And what Palantir has done for Airbus, that was just a favor, right? They've produced a digital twin for the production. Right? A production of an A350 includes 8 factories across 12 countries, across 3 continents, and suppliers, like hundreds of suppliers, et cetera, et cetera. So they've dumped it all into a computer and they've built a digital twin. Essentially, they've copied the physical business into some sort of a digital version of it. And through that, they found inefficiencies. And through that, they've increased the production rate up by 33% within a year. And through that, they increased the quality and so forth and so forth. It was so good that Palantir basically said, oh my God, this is actually a great business. We got to do more of this. And this was kind of the primal sin from which Palantir's business on the commercial side, Foundry, was born. Palantir has used this logic that's called ontology to create the system. Ontology, by definition, is a set of concepts and categories in the subject area or domain that shows their properties and the relations between them, right? It's the best example I could have found how to explain it. But basically, ontology allows you to create a shared language between people who do not speak the same language. If you put people that speak Chinese, Russian, English in the same room and you make them conversate and none of them speak a shared language, it basically goes nowhere. It's a cacophony of insanity, right? Basically, ontology is creating that shared language. It's creating one shared language when everybody can speak in their native language. I can speak Russian, this guy can speak Chinese, this guy can speak Thai, this guy can speak English, but we all understand each other in real time, okay? Imagine what it allows for a massive organization, right? It allows basically insane upside. This is Foundry, right? So Foundry basically takes your data platforms, whatever it is you're using. It doesn't matter if you're using AWS, which data analytics platform you're using, everything, and it basically puts them all together with all the data you have all into one pile, and it brings out decisions that are worth millions, if not billions of dollars every single year. There is the little tiny issue of the high PE. Just to kind of say it ahead of time, a 200 plus forward PE might definitely mean that we are short-term due for a correction. Yes, I'm not even going to deny that yet. Whenever a company, prices don't go up in a straight 45-degree line in the stock market. But, maybe we are due for a short-term correction. Maybe we're not. I don't care. I'm a 10-year investor. So I'm not about to deal with, it probably means that, it's a little bit overpriced right now for the moment, a little bit. But here's the thing. If you look at this from a 10-year perspective, number one, the earnings part of Palantir is just getting heated up. They're now just at probably the first or the second inning of a baseball game. So eventually the earnings will catch up and it's going to get smaller. Now, if you also factor in the growth and the margins of Palantir, that's why we have the rule of 40. Basically, what's your growth percentage per year on earning, on revenues, and what is your free cash flow margin?
สัมมนาการลงทุนครั้งยิ่งใหญ่แห่งปี Follow the Future พร้อมกับทีม Win the AI Era Seize the Alpha Survive the Bubbles ที่จะพาคุณรู้ก่อนเห็นก่อนลงทุนก่อนพบกับสุดยอดสปีกเกอร์ของเมืองไทยและระดับโลกทั้งหมดนี้อันแน่นใน8 Sessions เข้มข้นที่จะเปิดมุมมองใหม่ของเศรษฐกิจ AI และหุ้นศักยภาพ10เด้งที่อาจเปลี่ยนชีวิตคุณไปตลอดกาลซื้อบัตรได้แล้ววันนี้ที่ 10 Event